It's another massive episode of Hold All Tickets. Geez, we nailed some winners last week, Lamby. Big racing in Sydney and headquarters at Flemington. Let's do it again.
Plenty of good horses going around this Saturday, and I want to talk about my brother's $115,000 multi-collect, Browny. I've got to give some context around that.
And of course, there's plenty of banter and possibly the most entertaining quiz and biggest fall-off quiz in the history of Hold All Tickets.
Make sure you tune in. Hello and welcome to Hold All Tickets. Spring is heating up. We've got more Group 1 action at headquarters at Flemington and some massive racing up in Sydney. Lamby, Marcus, I'll start off by saying, and you can't say this, otherwise you might find yourself in your own segment, Self Trumpeters, but I think you are the hottest tipster in the country at the moment. Angel Capital on Saturday, Headwall, but yesterday at Sandown, talk us through your winner. She's
pretty rich, Browny, and I'm definitely not agreeing with what you said there. That's a little bit of mayo on that, but no, she's pretty rich. We were on it last week at $81. We talked about it on the show, and then they scratched it. Mm-hmm. So we had to butter up again yesterday. Not quite at 81, but 23. I think it ended up paying about $30 on the tote. Outside the leader, top of the straight, and just kept kicking.
That is outstanding.
Got the job done for it, and a great start for the blackbookers. It's the first one to run, so we're 1 from 1 and a $30 winner to kick us off.
It was unbelievable. That's why you've got to be tuning in each and every week. Marcus, how's your weekend been?
Yeah, not too bad. I didn't have quite the winner of that, but you can't lose, Lamby. You can't lose now, surely.
No, you
Big
can.
weeks now.
We can find a way, but we shouldn't.
This will be the week. This will be the week. But yourself, you had a pretty good week as well, Browny.
Barracuda's done the job. Yeah, just the Moonee Valley specialist. So 4 from 4 there now, and bigger things to come, I think, for that horse. It's come back in good order.
Might be featuring in the Self Trumpeters segment too, a bit of Barracuda action.
Saturday, I've gone through the fields all around the country, and this legitimately could be Chris Waller's Saturday, especially up in Sydney. He could win 6 up there, legitimately. He's got a couple of massive chances in the Makybe Diva. Yeah. He's even got a couple up at Doomben. Mr. Kipchoge in a few of them. He could have a huge day.
Yeah, he's got a couple of the glamour mares going around. But yeah, we're on, once again, as always, we're on weather watch in Sydney. Yeah. Absolutely belting down there at the moment. So hopefully it's not a bog track and we see all the good horses step out, but I have a feeling we might be seeing a few scratchings in Sydney.
And there's a good win in the family as well. Your brother put on a multi a little while ago and it lobbed. Surely he's paying for dinner. Talk us through that. Because
he'll be paying for dinners for a while.
It's one of the great multis of all time.
He put on a few different multis at the start of the year, well, December last year.
Yeah.
So he had a bit of a bank from a multi that he put on last year. So he took a bit of that and he left himself a few grand to play with, and he put on a 7-legger or a few combinations where he had Sinner and Alcaraz to win every slam.
Yep. Is he a tennis guy or he just went with the two?
I think they've been dominating the sport for a while, and he probably looked at the odds and thought, well,
why not?
Let's chuck it in a multi. And then he had Freo top 8.
Yes.
That was a scary watch the last round of the year. They had the dogs. Melbourne Storm top 4, and he had Pogacar to win the Tour de France.
That was the interesting one.
I don't think he watches a lot of cycling, but he was obviously, according to better judges, he must have been a moral for that. So, yeah, 500 into $115,000.
How good's that?
I was with him on Saturday night.
Just to make sure you can pop a few of those?
He was flying when I left him, and I think he went all through Sunday, possibly. I know he didn't work on Monday, so hopefully he's returned to work by now. But yeah, he gave it a fair shake.
That is unbelievable. And Alcaraz Sinner in the US Open final.
Well, yeah, he had both those combos, so he couldn't lose in the final.
Magnificent bet. All right, let's jump into the racing because, as I mentioned, Group 1 action at Flemington, the weight for age Makybe Diva Stakes. And, well, small field. Were you surprised at the lack of nominations?
I wouldn't say I was surprised because, in the lead-up, we heard that all these horses were going there. The only real surprise, I guess, is Mark Twain getting in there for a little bit of prize money. Yep. But I guess the 6-horse field means that it's probably going to be a bit of a muddling race. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a fair chance they're going to settle down in single file. Mr. Brightside probably leads from barrier 1 by default, and I think they're going to go along at a pretty pedestrian speed. Like, he'll probably lead. Via Sistina gets on his back, and then single file from there. Antino, Mark Twain, Aliana, and the way Tom Kitten's been jumping, there's a fair chance he'll probably settle at the tail of the field. So I don't know if they're going to break any records here unless we see maybe an Antino or an Aliana really go forward early and try to put a bit of speed into the race, but they've all got bigger fish to fry, so I'm not sure we're going to see that.
If they all get in the position they want and they're all in that single file line, who's the best to?
If they're all in their Sistina sits
position
behind Mr. Brightside in second,
yep,
they won't beat it.
No.
She's got the best turn of foot in the race by a mile. And Mr. Brightside, he's probably the horse that runs second because he's going to be leading at that tempo. Got such a good record over the mile.
Yep.
Second up record is outrageous. 8 starts, 6 wins in a second. So he was good enough first up to run quite well here, I think. But yeah, it's probably a little bit of a shame that we don't have a full field just to see a bit, I guess, tactics and a bit more tempo. But it still should be a good race.
If Via Sistina was vulnerable first up on that heavy track up in Sydney over 1400, I can't see her getting beaten, to be honest. She's one of the best horses in the country. And
the best, I think.
Yeah.
$1.90 seems, I think, quite attractive.
Yeah.
And we'll have the best jockeying as well. So 7 wins from 9 rides as well.
Yep. And Mark Twain, I saw that. I thought you're more of a chance of reading the adventures of Huckleberry Finn and getting through it before that horse finishes the race. There you go. Great novelist, Mark Twain. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, I know the name. A bit before my time, though. You might be able to speak more about it.
I reckon I read that at school, to be honest with you.
It'll cross over the line like you last week trying to stop Cyril Rioli's goal. Just absolutely tumble over.
Another really interesting race is a Group 2 Bobbie Lewis and Arkansas Kid going to jump your favourite, but it's a wide open field, isn't it?
It is, yeah. An Arkansas Kid drawn low, which I never love in straight course races, especially in big fields. So he's been second in both runs this prep. Well held, though, last start. And since his last win, he's finished second 5 times. So slight query on his finishing, whether he wants it enough. So I've gone for a bit of value here. I've gone with Airman. He's dual accepted, though. He's also in Sydney. But I'm hoping they run here because I like the gate. I like the booking of J-Mac. The trials have been good and has run some very nice races when fresh. He beat Bella Nipotina over this distance last spring and has also won down the straight. So Airman for me at $8. I like where he's drawn. I think he'll get the right run. I think he's a really good each-way play. Just hoping they go to Flemington and not Sydney.
Yeah. I agree with you there. The Hawks runner have a huge opinion of this horse and it's won up the Flemington straight before. If you are going to have a little saver, Royal Insignia with the 53 kilos, I think is a really nice horse as well. It's
lightweight. Star Patrol's the other one I want to mention. He's an absolute beast down the straight at his best, but he's had a heap of issues. There's been a couple of times where I think he's either been retired or very close to being retired and they've sort of nursed him back, but I'd probably prefer to see him first up. And I guess the other one you want to mention is Corniche. The Godolphin horses first up for new trainers have been absolutely airborne. On form, you probably couldn't have him because he's never done anything fresh, but the first up for new trainers, they have been flying, so one to keep safe.
More issues than Britney Spears' Star Patrol, don't you think, over the journey? All right, well, that's the 2 at Flemington. Let's get into the Self Trumpeters because there's plenty of nominations for this week.
Yeah, this is the first week where I've had to leave a little bit on the cutting room floor, Browny. I had to,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, I had to omit one this morning because I got sent a good one from Hong Kong last night, but we'll start with the one voter, Miles Fitzner, last year's champ with his first vote of the season. Milo, he posted an interesting photo to X on Sunday night. I'm not sure if you saw it.
That's an interesting
white tracksuit.
Yeah, it looked like something out of a bad 80s music video. I'm not sure what he was doing. He was fully clad in all white.
I know.
Even had the white hat on, cross-legged on the couch, holding a cigar with a bottle of red in front of him and just a simple caption, Coonawarra red and a Cuban. It's a subtle trumpet compared to some of his previous.
It was a disturbing picture. The only thing missing was the baby oil, I reckon.
Yeah, it was.
That sort of vibe.
The outfit was unusual.
Maybe Damien Hardwick liked it on Twitter.
A couple of the comments were like, why are you wearing your sister's tracksuit? Anyway, he gets a vote for that.
Yeah, good.
2 votes. Tim Carroll, international racing pundit and presenter. He polled a few votes last season, so he's one to keep an eye on. He's in the mix. The Hong Kong Racing X account posted a pic of Ka Ying Rising with the caption, congratulations Ka Ying Rising, now officially rated the world's best horse by Timeform. So Tim quote tweeted that with a rather long trumpet, which I'll tighten up a touch. He wrote, I copped a bit of flack for dare suggesting this fellow was the best horse in the world last year. I'm not going to pretend for 1 second I'm not getting plenty of satisfaction watching his career unfold as it has. Where are those smart asses now? Winky face. To put this into perspective, Black Caviar was the best sprinter of my lifetime, peaked at 136. This boy is pretty damn special. So that's a good victory lap there from Tim. Where are the smart asses now?
Yeah.
3 votes. Now this is a good, a likeable trumpet. I really like their work here. This is 3 votes for Malua Racing. The stable Corstons and Larkin. They put up a 1-minute video montage in the lead up to the Moya Stakes. And it was of Barraquil.
Yep.
And they went with the caption, Lots said no, ... Barraquil said, watch this. Bring on the Valley Group 1 Moya Stakes. So this was after his first up win. So they've put up a video of Barraquil winning first up, and they've got audio playing over the top of various tipsters and podcasters talking down Barraquil's chances. You didn't feature because you were talking him up. You were tipping him.
Absolutely.
I missed the trick there.
Yeah, they've cut up a bunch of the clips. They've kept all the receipts, and then they've put together the video before the Moya. So I'll just play 10 seconds of this little snippet.
Like I said,
I think Barraquil has to get out. He's going to turn 7 in about a week. He's had 1 preparation. He's got loads of issues, obviously. He's coming off a suspensory and he might just never be able to get back to it. I think it's completely reasonable to say, like, he could be gone. We don't know. Like, the trials were fine.
He could be gone.
And then comes out and blows the line
that
at Group 1.
was before the Moya. So they put that up. They talked the talk and he walked the walk. He's now won his last 2 starts at the Valley. So good luck to him.
Very worthy. Self Trumpeters this week. Magnificent. Keep them coming too. Send them through to Lamby and let's get the leaderboard really diverse.
It's a 4 or 5 way go for the top now. No one's repeat voted yet.
All right, what about black bookers? Because if there's not a classic example as to why you need to follow the black book, it is She's Pretty Rich winning yesterday at $26. You don't want to miss it, and that was clearly in the black book.
Yeah, and we're gonna leave her in for one more.
Okay.
We might have got away with one. I'm not sure she's going to win at those odds again, but we'll leave her in. We can't cut her out yet. So we're not taking anything out of the black book yet, Brownie, but we've got a couple going around this weekend. We've got Athanatos racing in race 5 at Flemington. Very good run first up. Stays at 1,400, goes to a bigger track, which suits. I think he'll be a better bet third up over a mile. But I'm not ruling him out on Saturday, but it's a pretty hot race. And the other one going around is your boy, I'm pretty sure. New Look.
Yeah, I'm starting to just fade a little bit
wobble.
on my belief of this horse. We'll find out a lot on Saturday.
Okay, so he might be coming out next week if he doesn't perform. But the 3 I'm adding this week, Elmorak was well backed at very big odds at Valley last Saturday. Only just missed. Won't be winning anything of note this spring, but I think he can get the job done in a 78 or an 84 over a trip next start. The other one, Compelling Truth, smashed by Angel Capital, but did a really good job to run second. Looked absolutely gone. But his last 50, got off the canvas, had 59. I think he looks a really good chance in the Kosciuszko. He's already locked in for that race. And if you shop around, you might be able to get $10 there for Compelling Truth. And one from yesterday, pretty obvious one, but because it was the midweeks, a few people might have missed it. But Point Barrow, Friedman filly, absolutely
walked in, didn't it?
Killed them in second gear as well. So I think she can win a good race this spring. Benny Scarf backed her as well. So not even his money could stop her. So she must be very handy. So she also goes in the black book. So 3 to add.
I know there's, we're only putting horses in the black book, obviously, but got to give a shout out to the sister podcast, Honest Beers, because they had a dog named after them actually get up and win yesterday.
Yeah.
So shout out to Wally and Harry for their pod.
Yeah, well, don't miss any of those winners. You can sign up for your own black book for free with Punters Light account. Head to punters.com.au and sign up today. Make sure you chuck them in the black book and don't miss a winner.
Yeah, you get the notifications when markets open as well, which is a very
nice and early.
handy little feature. Yep.
Absolutely. So we'll go up to Sydney now. A lot of rain around up there, so just keep an eye on what the track conditions are doing. It's more than likely going to be a soft or a heavy deck, depending on how much rain falls. But the feature race up there is race 8, the run to the Rose, the Group 2 over 1,200 metres. Lammy, how do you see this race?
Yeah, it's a bit of a fork in the road race for a lot of horses this spring, whether they go Golden Rose, Caulfield Guineas, or whether they're kept to sprinting trips. So it's an interesting kick-off point for a few horses, but Raging Force, we know what that horse is going to do. He'll jump and run. He looks the leader from Devil Knight, who's another horse who is a dual acceptor. Skyhook in behind. Nice map for Baywatch here. Better than last time when he was 3 wide, no cover the trip. I think it's actually a 2-horse. Well, for me, I'm going to have a 2-horse play here. Raging Force won his last 4. Comfortable margin in the San Domenico, even though he sort of laid in on Woden and the margin might have flattered him a little bit, but it was still a pretty good win.
Yep.
First time at 1,200, that's the query, but should be able to hold the lead. Obviously fit, sting out suits. But yeah, Baywatch was just under 2 lengths off Raging last start. Never on the track. Thought he stuck on really well. Better for it. Maps for a good run, one off the fence. So Baywatch, I think, is definitely the value. But if I'm having 2 plays in the race, it'd be Raging Force and Baywatch at the double figure odds.
Yeah, it's like you're keeping an eye on the TV show, keeping one eye on Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, that's right.
Keeping an eye on Baywatch.
David Hasselhoff as well. Now, Zachy Lloyd takes the ride on Raging Force because of the Tommy Berry suspension as well from that race.
Yep.
I was with Skyhook. I followed this horse a little bit last prep in the lead up to the Golden Slipper, and I know that the stable had a good opinion of it. Its first up win, carrying 60.5 kilos on that heavy deck, I thought was outstanding. It beat Grand Prairie, who gave 7 kilos to that day, who then came out and won the Group 3.
Won the up and coming,
and caused the carnage behind it with the fall and whatnot with Tommy Sherry. But that's running in the Ming Dynasty earlier in the day, so it'll be an interesting watch to see how Grand Prairie runs. But I think $8 about Skyhook is a massive price.
Yeah, I had him third pick ahead of Woden, and the other one, Nepotism, is a horse I want to see him first up. I couldn't back him here. He's one to look out for further assignments. But yeah, Skyhook and Baywatch, definite dangers to Raging Force.
I think Rossi Lyon's going to put a bet on for the Gold Coast Suns players on Nepotism as well.
Yeah, the Nepo babies.
Must be labelled that during the season. Theo Marks is race number 9. This is another Group 2 and one of the other big races of the day up in Sydney. And Autumn Glow deserves to go around at $1.55. She's the glamour horse of Australian racing. I absolutely love her. I liken her to sort of my vintage, is the Jennifer Hawkins of racing, just a beautiful animal that is very hard to beat. Who would you liken her to?
I'd say she's a modern-day Sydney Sweeney, personally.
Okay, nice.
Dua Lipa for sure.
Dua?
Yeah,
You're a Dua
bit of
fan?
Dua Lipa, Tate McRae.
Tate McRae, yeah, all very worthy mentions. I don't think we'll see this horse go around at $1.60 again. I think after she blows them away in the Theo Marks, you'll be getting sort of $1.40, $1.30 about her.
I think she'll start shorter than $1.60 on Saturday. I mean, we could see some scratchings, which will affect prices, but gee, she's hard to tip against. I mean, first up win on a heavy 10.
Yep.
Maybe a slightly firmer track on Saturday, but that probably suits her even more. Maps well. I think only bad luck beats her. There's not a lot of speed in this race. I'm not really sure who will lead. Maybe Felix Majestic comes across from out wide. Romeo's Choice will be up there, but I think she just sits kind of close to the pace and puts them away.
Obviously, being at such a short price, would you look to avoid it obviously in a single bet, including maybe in a multi, or look elsewhere in some places, some top 4, top 6 finishes?
I think she's one for multis. And if you were to play exotics, maybe like a same race multi type scenario where she wins and maybe Felix Majestic for top 4. I think it's potentially the leader. Big odds, not going to be pressured too much in the lead. 4-time winner at this track. So she might be one that you throw in at bigger odds.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be backing her just at the $1.50-ish, but I think if you throw in Tarzina early in the day, or if you like Autumn Boy, you can try and build up a 3 or 4 leg multi and try and get your $8 to $10. I reckon that's the play, because it should just be an absolute lock. Race number 7, this is another cracking race, and Jolie Star, the Waller team, are going to send this horse to the Everest.
Yep.
So this is a fantastic way for Jolie Star to kick off.
Yeah, it looks a good race for her too. Small field, should lob into a nice trailing position. I think Lilac leads. Gangster Granny probably sits outside the leader, as we saw last start, and Jolly Star, probably in the 1-1, just follow the Granny across and slot into a lovely midfield position. She's won 4 from 8 over this trip, one of those at Group 1 level. Generally goes very well first up, so hard to tip against. I guess the only query would probably be a bog track, but I think she wins, and the Granny looks the obvious danger. I mean, it took a pretty big effort from Autumn Glow to run her down last start, so that's extremely nice form for this. Amina, very good fresh horse, stiff not to win the Group 1 Sangster, so she's the one I've got in for third, but it does look Jolly Star's race.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you there. I think you've got to respect Gangster Granny for what it did first up, but Jolly Star, won't have my money on it, but looking forward to watching it go around and see what is in store for her a little bit later in the preparation.
That must be one of the best names of any horse sitting.
It's good, isn't it?
Gangster Granny.
Yeah,
for sure.
A really good horse in the Hawks team. We've got building a nice little stable at the moment. They could have a good Saturday as well. All right, so I came in a bit underprepared for our first quiz, and I got found out.
It's 2-0 now, Brown.
Yeah, I know. So I've actually done a little bit of preparation. I hope I've been studying for the right test. What's the topic?
Say we don't know the question.
I know.
What are you studying?
I'm starting to think, though, because obviously Lamby smashed the first 2 quizzes. I'm starting to think if he's got a little side eye going on here or a camera, because I've got
I'm blind as a bat. I can barely read.
You're in the same office. When you duck off, does he come over and read your notes?
Possibly.
The fix could be in.
I
Yeah.
assure you that I can't read what's on there.
You'd be hope so. He's going for a fix, but obviously it's Makybe Diva Stakes, so it's going to be Makybe Diva focus. So you could have picked it. Did you? Is that your prep?
That was what I was sort of working around.
Okay, let's see if general knowledge can beat hard book smart.
Okay.
Question 1. After running 4th on debut at Benalla in 2002,
Mr. Brightside.
how many races in a row did Makybe Diva win? Lammy.
I went early.
He's too eager. How many did she win after getting rolled on debut? Jeez, I don't know. I don't think she went on a tear.
Nah.
After you can give
I'm going to
up a
say,
number.
I'll say 2.
2? Okay. 3, 4, 5 or 6 are the choices. You're back in, Brown Dog.
4.
3.
You're both incorrect. 6. So
okay.
no points go there to either of you.
Nowhere near.
Studying didn't do the job.
It's a bit like my school days.
What was Makybe Diva's first G1 victory?
Good question. That is a good question.
Going well here, aren't we?
I don't know. I'll give you the
Lamby.
options.
I'll go Memsy.
Incorrect. Give you the options.
Oh,
Melbourne
okay.
Cup, Turnbull Stakes, Sydney Cup, BMW, the Tancred.
The Turnbull.
Incorrect. Both incorrect again.
Okay.
It was the Melbourne Cup.
First Group 1 win was
First
the Melbourne
Group 1
Cup.
victory.
There you
Correct.
go.
Yep.
So
Going well.
not off to the best of starts here. I'm not sure if the people are coming here for the racing knowledge, just the tips,
I hope you
maybe.
got a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I'm
We do
glad
have a
tipped better
tiebreak
than
question.
we,
We've still got 2 questions to go, and obviously a
can still
tiebreak if
win.
we need. What was the last race Makybe Diva won before completing her Melbourne Cup three-peat in 05?
Lammy. Won the Cox Plate.
Correct.
There we go.
1-0. So, Brown Dog, you need to get this question correct.
One of the best photos in racing, that one, when they're sweeping
Yeah.
wide around the bend.
Yeah.
Fan about 10 wide.
Last question. In which 2 locations have life-size statues of Makybe Diva been erected?
Ooh.
I'll give the options.
Nagambie.
Mooney Valley in
That's
Flemington.
back
Lucky you didn't buzz in there. The options are Mooney Valley in Flemington, Mooney Valley in Port Lincoln, Flemington and Port Lincoln, Caulfield and Flemington.
Port Lincoln, because that's where Tony Santic was from, the tuna fisherman,
Yep.
and Flemington.
Correct.
There we go.
So you're lucky. We got the tie-break question in. First time this has gone to tie-break. You need this, Brownie. And Lamby, this is to go 3-0 up, complete the hat-trick. The tie-break question. This is nearest to the pin, all right? Nearest to the value. What was Makybe Diva's starting price in her first Melbourne Cup?
Man, $6.
$6, Lamby?
8.
Lammy's got a spot on. It's $8.
Oh, was it? Jeez,
It was.
well done, Lammy.
So
It's 3-0.
Lammy sneaks
You know what I
away.
did? I did study around the Makybe Diva Stakes, right?
Yeah,
Not actually
not the
the
actual-
horse.
not the-
That's why I was
the horse
spitting out
themselves.
Mr.
The excuses
Brightside.
are starting to pile up every week.
Every week he's coming out with a new one.
Nah, very good. Good quiz. I'm just happy I got on the board this week, which is
As
fantastic.
you're averaging about one question correct per quiz, Browny, so you
tough.
keep you in it.
That was a tough. I was ready to go. What 3 cups did she win? I thought that'll be an easy one, but it didn't even get a run.
Geez, that first question of mine will look back at with stupidity. Man, yelling at Mr. Brightside around a Makybe Diva quiz. Let's get into to best bets because you have been seeing them like beach balls, Lamby.
Yeah, it's been the $100 betting strategy. We're 3 from 3 the last 3 weeks, so we'll see if we can keep it going here. I'm going to have 20 each way on race 6, number 2, Airman, for the reasons outlined earlier. Just hope he's in Melbourne. And 60 the win on race 9, number 3, Lazura at $2.75. Arrogant win first up on a heavy 10. Can be just as effective on top of the ground. Put a gap on with Your Blessing that day, who then came out and ran 3rd in the tramway last week. So the form's pretty good. She's a Group 1 horse, Lazura, so I think she'll get the job done. The main danger is On Display, who was an awesome winner first up, but Dawn Barrier 1 could be tricky, might need a bit of luck. So we'll go with Lazura as the main play on Saturday.
But you, Marcus, got some Omen bets.
Got
for
some
the
Omen
punters?
bets, and we actually went all right last week with Here Comes Hogan. If we went out for a place price there, it actually came in some decent value. So we're going to look to rectify that again. And this one's a bit of a personal one. I'm going to go west of Swindon because I'm a big Swindon town advocate. I think they're in the 4th tier of English football at the moment, and they are owned by an Australian as well. So that's it. Flemington race 3. You find some decent value, $8.50 there with Tab. And lastly, See You in Heaven. This is purely for Zach Merritt because he's going to be leaving my beloved Bombers. Well, that's what the rumours are.
So you're going to kill him if he leaves.
I'll see him in heaven because I love that man. Flemington race 9. Bit of value there. You can get a place. Obviously, don't want him to win, but $5 place bet. See You in Heaven.
If he hasn't made up his mind yet, he will by the end of tomorrow because I've got a lunch with him in Yarrawonga. And there's a 3-hour,
please.
There's a 3-hour trip that I'm just going to be in his ear to get him across to the Hawks. So it'll be magnificent. Vinrock, race 3, number 1. I'm going to have $100 on this Group 1 winner. I've just put a line through Caulfield last start. No excuses, but I don't think the horse loved the soft track and the 1,200 metres. So hoping good deck, 1,400 should do the job. Thought it opened $5 and quickly came into $4. Crossbow opened $3.60 and I think they're about jostling for favouritism. I thought the market got that a little bit wrong. I'd have Vinrock.
The form out of those Crossbow races is a bit iffy. They're sort of taking turns a little bit at the moment. So if the best version of Vinrock turns up,
agreed.
He wins. It's just that first up run was bog average. It
was putrid. So, hopefully stepping up in trip does the job there. And what's been a disappointing week for Matt Laurie with not the devastating news, but just the news about Treasure at the moment. Hopefully this can put a smile on his face.
Exactly.
Big weekend too of football as well. Both my teams, both my teams are still in the mix.
You could say you're getting a semi for the semi-finals coming in here, but I'm very excited. But we're actually going opposite tips. We spoke about this yesterday, Brown. I'm going with Adelaide in the Adelaide Hawthorn game, and I'm going with Gold Coast. I'm actually big on Gold Coast in the Q Clash.
Yeah, I think the Hawks, I haven't tipped them a lot this year. I've just kept waiting for them to fall over. Great win last week. I think they can go to Adelaide and get the job done. And if you're a betting man, I'm going to say about $1.75 that Guinea gives the bird again. He can't help himself. Yep. I think they'll win. He'll walk off. He'll do it again.
Is it going to be at the airport or Adelaide Oval?
Oval.
Can you get even bigger prices on where it is? That'll be good.
So that'll be interesting. And I do think in what will be the biggest Q Clash in the history of Queensland footy, I think the Lions bounce back. Yeah, that euphoric win, the first ever win for the Suns in Perth, parents, everyone's up and about. Takes 3 or 4 days to actually come back down.
Big trip.
That might just suck a little bit of energy out of them and they'll be reeling the Brisbane Lions. So I still think they genuinely believe they can win it.
Yep.
So they need to prove it now.
Yeah, I'm with the Lions. I know Neil out, but he hasn't been their best mid this year. Like he's been sidelined quite a bit, been tagged out of games. So I don't think he's the biggest loss. I think Dunkley probably puts the clamps on Real and the stoppages too. So it's a good matchup for the Lions. And I think the Crows roll the Hawks at home.
Well, there you go.
They can't be bundled out in straight
Jeez,
sets,
I
surely.
I think they can.
2 home games.
I'm the kiss of death on this panel now. Just picking the underdogs.
No, there you go.
They'll ride in Adelaide if they're out in straight
Yeah,
sets.
they will.
Yeah.
They certainly will.
It's the first club since 1983 who are minor premiers if they go out in straight sets.
Really?
So, yeah, not a good reading for them if they do.
miss Isaac Rankin enormously. Oh, hopefully plenty of winners there. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Hold All Tickets. See you next week.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.